Yeah. I mean, the chat got like, I can tell that nobody's like really upset about it. I'll tell you this though, Houston Rockets fans are having a field day. They are so happy right now that they were able to beat the GOAT Victor Wembanyama. I mean, they are losing their minds. They are ecstatic. Some are delusional enough to think that Şengün is actually better than Wemby, believe it or not. They are so happy. They are so happy. A lot of people have been saying, Spurs fans, you won a couple games. Now it's time to hang the banner, which is hilarious because it's coming from people that teams don't have a banner at all. But no, like literally, that's what Houston Rockets fans are doing right now. They are hanging the banner. They are so excited. They are ecstatic to have a chance to beat Victor Wembanyama, an injured rookie. They just love it. And hey, allow them to love it. Allow them to enjoy it now because we already know what's coming. I know I sound bitter. I know I sound bitter. I kind of don't. I'm kind of not bitter. I'll just be honest. Look, Rockets fans are some of the worst fans imaginable. I mean, some of the things that they put out is horrendous. Now, obviously, yeah. Let me go ahead and do the preface it by saying not all fans are bad, blah, blah, blah. But I'll be honest, man, Rockets fans, there's a subsection that I've never seen. I've seen some bad Spurs fans. I've never seen Spurs fans go as low as Rockets fans go. I mean, I've seen Rockets fans tweet out things like they really want to see an ACL tear from Wemby, that they want him injured, that they're praying for injuries. I mean, it is terrible. And all because he didn't want to come to your franchise. I would never. I never seen a Spurs fan do this. They say that Spurs fans are just so entitled and we're so terrible. And a lot of Spurs fans are. But I've never seen Spurs fans like go at a player like that where it's like, it's a big enough group of fans saying they want someone injured that anyone would notice. Like, I'm sure there's, it's millions upon millions of people out there. I'm sure there's a few Spurs fans that said some crazy stuff before. But this is wild. This is absolutely wild. Spurs enjoyer, he said it, and I hate him. It's so gross. It's not just him though. It's so many. It's a terrible subsection they have. All right, so we're gonna go through a sponsor really quick. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about something. I have a clip here, a video here that I'm gonna play, and then after that we'll go straight into the game. Okay, so we'll go straight into the game, and there's plenty to talk about. Spurs, man, Spurs. So here's Clan. Take it away, Clan. All right, guys, so before we get into the content, I want to give a big shout out to today's sponsor. I'll be honest with you, okay? I get so many phone calls from where I used to live. A lot of people don't know this, but I'm actually from Memphis, Tennessee. I get that a lot. Are you from San Antonio? No, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. No longer live there, but man, I still get plenty of calls from 901, and I know for a fact that it's either spam or it's scammers or someone trying to get over on me. So I wanted to introduce a sponsor that I think would actually help you with some of that. So this is where Aura, our sponsor, come into play. So there's so many different data brokers that's selling off your information from industry to industry about things such as where you live, for instance, and they are actually legally obligated to take you off of those lists if you ask. But I'm pretty sure you guys know it's very difficult to get them to do that. But Aura makes it super simple. You can either do it on your phone or you can do it on a desktop. It doesn't really matter. But they have an entire list of all of the different data brokers that have your information, and you can opt out directly through Aura. And it's super easy to set up, and they'll do all the hard work for you. So you don't have to worry about going to all those different apps just to get some type of parental control, antivirus, VPNs, password management, identity theft, insurance. They will do all of the work for you. And even better, it's at a super reasonable price. So yeah, don't let people just profit over your private information. Not cool. Just go ahead and hit the link in my description, and it will send you to Aura, in which you will get a 14-day free trial. Just click the link in my description. Big shout out to Aura for reaching out to me and collabing. So yeah, just wanted to spread that information to you guys, and let's get back into this video. All right, thank you, Clan. Thank you for giving us that. Thank you for giving us that ad read. That was beautiful. But yeah, guys, check out Aura. Let's see. I was looking at some of the comments here. Yeah, like round improvement too. Twin, Yeah, that's what it was. Twin, where have you been? Okay, all right, let's go through this game. God awful, good God Almighty. All right, so I want to. These are the type of games where I really want to go in on the refs here. Okay, I really want to go in on the refs. But let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. All right, before we talk about the San Antonio Spurs and all their faults, I want to talk about the elephant in the room. The fact that Şengün, ooh, excuse me, sorry. This fact that Şengün put up 45 points tonight. 45 points tonight. And it's very frustrating, okay? Because obviously, surface level, you look at this, you're like, he only took 7 free throws, whatever. It's like, wow, this is an impressive, game. 19 for 32. This dude went absolutely off. 2 for 3. These are really good numbers. But I feel like people aren't necessarily contextualizing what was going on in this game. The San Antonio Spurs don't have a center other than Wemby right now. Like, let's be real. Like, I'm not trying to talk bad about Zach Collins, but he is not a center. All right. He is not one. And Victor got in foul trouble really early. So not only is he injured, but he got in foul trouble so quickly to the point where we had to pull him several occasions, and Şengün just had a field day with Zach Collins for the most part. And then once Wemby was in the game, because some people are going towards, well, Rockets fans are going towards the fourth quarter and saying, well, he was putting them on skates. He was killing Wemby in the fourth quarter. But in actuality, Wemby couldn't play physical at all. He only had 2 fouls to give. He couldn't play physical at all. Wemby definitely changed the way he was playing defense. And even yet and still, Wemby being held back, he got 7 blocks. He got 7 blocks. Absolutely incredible. But hey, Şengün did his thing. He took advantage of his size. I mean, he just went straight into our chest. But he took advantage of his size. The refs did not do us any favors. And giving Wemby that many fouls that early and us not being able to play him and him being injured really hurt us. It was so obvious. And then I've said this time and time again, Wemby on the court, he's a phenomenal defender, but there's nothing he can do when we have a lineup like, who was it? I think it was Blake Wesley, which he's a fine defender, whatever. But it was Blake Wesley, I believe Keldon Johnson, Branham, and Osman. I think that was the lineup that Wemby had to go out there with. God awful. You are not going to beat anybody playing with that lineup. Defensively, it doesn't matter how good Wemby is. You're not going to be able to stop anybody. So that was very unfortunate. Wemby injured. Yes, Wemby he was on the injury report before the game. He played through it. But yeah, he had a shoulder issue. He even went to the locker room in the middle of the game. So yes, Wemby was injured in this game and he still put up 7 blocks. So like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away from Şengün. I think Şengün is a fine player. I think sometimes he's a little overhyped, mostly from Houston fans. But at the same time, he had a good game. It's just unfortunate that the way that you had to play him was so terrible, man. Like, you couldn't touch him. I mean, you couldn't touch him. We got in foul trouble so quickly till it was nothing you can do, right? And not every foul sent him to the free throw line or anything like that. But man, they were calling so many fouls. It was insane. But he did fine. And I thought that the Houston Rockets as a whole did well on Wemby. They were making it nearly impossible for him to get the ball. But then again, our team, they played as if they were at home. I mean, you cannot play this way. Like, you cannot just half-heartedly pass the ball. Like you have to be you gotta play. You gotta pass with some intention. Out coaching, Rockets barely beat the Spurs with most calls going their way and Wemby out for most of the game. Yeah, who said that we got out coached? Who said that? Yeah, they I don't know if the Spurs got out coached, guys. I mean, Udoka did a good job of containing Wemby. Look, we don't have many options here. Like, I'm not sitting here saying the Houston Rockets are just full of like all this all-star driven talent or anything like that, but I will say having veterans on your team definitely helps. It helps quite a bit. Having those vets helps them. But at the same time, for us, yeah, we just couldn't. There's not much we could do, you know. I mean, our offense is solely predicated off of giving Wemby the ball. It's like the Wemby and Fasale show, which sometimes is a really good show, but sometimes you have games like this where if Wemby's not, hurt or he's not playing to the best he could, and then you're making sloppy passes, you're not talented enough to make up for the amount of mistakes that you made. I mean, it's like I said, the refs were god awful, but then again, the refs didn't turn the ball over 18 times. You know what I mean? Like the refs were bad, but they also didn't turn the ball over for the Spurs 18 times. Now, don't get me wrong, we were hacked. There were plenty of times that they didn't call, especially on Sohan. Oh my God, those calls against Sohan were terrible. The fact that they said he purposefully tripped. Who did they say he tripped? Thompson, the Thompson twin, Amen Thompson. What was that about? I don't know what they saw. I mean, you watched that same clip for 5 minutes, and that's what you got away from. Like, that was crazy. Yeah, the flagrant, that was insane. The whole game was kind of like that. So some of these turnovers, I want to say a lot of them, but I'll say, you say 20, 25% of these turnovers were due to they got really physical with us to the point where if we did the same, we would get a foul called on us. But once again, like I said, 18 turnovers isn't all the refs. The Spurs played poorly. They didn't punch him in the mouth. They got accustomed to being at home, grinding those out, and they look like a legitimate basketball team. And then they go against the Houston Rockets, and it's half-hearted passes. Pass it like as soon as you think Wemby's in position, you're throwing it. Like it was just bad. It was just bad. Thanks, Dennis Keith, for subscribing. But yeah, they needed this L, I think. I think this was an important L. I think they need to be smacked in the face. We'll see what kind of comes from it. But man, oh man, this is going to be tough. I want to win some games, man. I want to win some games. And I have no doubt in my mind that the San Antonio Spurs couldn't have won this game. Like, they obviously could have won this game. They're coming off of 2 huge wins against good teams. Houston Rockets are not that good. They're not that good. And the Spurs were in the game the entire time without Wemby. And when Wemby was in the game, he couldn't even play to his standard. Like, it was terrible, dude. Did Wemby get injured this game? No. Wemby got injured last game. He got injured last game, and we just got hit in the shoulder. He was physically hurt last game. He played through it. Now, obviously, we won the game. And then this game, he was on the injury report as questionable. But then at the last minute, the Spurs said he can play. So, yeah. So he wasn't necessarily himself. But Wemby not being himself, 4 for 10, 7 blocks, 11 rebounds. I mean, shoot. I mean, if this is the worst Wemby we're going to get. Clan recently don't know what 3 wins in a row means anymore. It's crazy. It's so crazy, isn't it? I guess that's all I really have to say. There's nobody individually that I'm mad at. I know some people will ask, well, what about Keldon? Because you guys always ask me about Keldon Johnson. He was okay, man. He's Keldon. Like, I don't even get upset about anything. Branham looks really nice, though. Branham looks really nice. Unfortunately, we have a highlight of Şengün flexing after being barely grazed by Malachi Branham. That shouldn't have been a foul at all. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. But anyways, let's see. I'm going to take you guys back to a simpler time. Don't be upset with me, okay? Look at this. Oh, wait. Was there a better website we can go to? Okay, never mind. They're going to classics. I don't want classics. Look at this, man. Look at all these W's. Look at all these W's, man. This was a good time. Look at all these W's. The Spurs were so good. But mind you, 2013, 2014, I watched every single game. Look at all these W's, man. Look at all these wins. Look at the oh my goodness. Look when they started ramping it up in March, dude. Look at how many wins in a row is this? From game 57 all the way to game 75. Nearly 20 games in a row. Oh well. Oh well. My girl came home to me crying watching the beautiful game. You would have thought that they won the Western Conference Finals with this W. Dude, I'm telling you, I would have been excited. I would have been excited too if I beat Wembanyama. I mean, really. I would have been really excited if I just beat Wembanyama. Good years. Man, good times, dude. Good times. Good times. But oh well. It is what it is. Those are all my thoughts about this game. There's no one I can really criticize. Not really. We did okay. You know, playing so poorly, we did okay as far as shooting wise from the free throw line. I don't know. I'm trying to be positive. There's nothing I can really say positively, honestly. One thing I will say is some people have brought up like Julian Champagnie and said, oh, Julian Champagnie is so trash. Why is he starting? He's not a starting small forward. Okay. Like obviously, but he's not trash. He should more than likely just be on the bench once we get more talent. Like that's all it really comes down to. And in this game, he only played 10 minutes and he was hurt. That's another thing. Julian Champagnie's hurt. So that's one thing people don't keep in mind either. He had a few plays in there where you're like, what the heck are you doing, bro? Like, but he is hurt. If you don't recall, a couple games ago, he tweaked his ankle, but he played through it. So we got a really tough team. And I thought Sochan played really hard down the stretch. I thought Devin Vassell played pretty hard down the stretch. It was just too many mistakes, man, to count. And then when Houston can kind of just do whatever they want, and the refs aren't on our side, it's just a disaster. All right, that's where experience and talent got to kick in, and we just don't have that. You know, these types of games we're gonna lose all the time, because there's no one to kind of hone it in. We're not honing it in as a team. It's just constant mistake after mistake after mistake, and we're doing things that were issues weeks ago. This is why I always say, like, yeah, it's great to think about, oh, what if Trey Jones were to start? We would win games. No, it's not that simple. This team as a whole is a mess. Now, if you can play Trey Jones, and Trey Jones didn't have that great of a game, but if you can play Trey Jones, you know, all minutes, all first, second, third, and fourth quarter, and you can play Wemby all first, second, third, and fourth quarter, and Vassell all first, second, third, and fourth quarter, and Sochan all first, second, third, and fourth quarter, and they don't get tired, then sure, yeah, conceptually we should win like most games, or not most games, I won't say that, but we should win, you know, pretty decent number of games. But that's not the case. Rockets was just sagging off Sochan, Trey Jones clogging up the paint and double triple teaming Wemby. Yeah. Did Sochan even take any? How many threes did he take? He took 6 threes. My God. Dude, I think I disassociated during this game. This is tough. I don't remember him taking 6 threes. I was out. I was so frustrated with this game. It was one of the ugliest games of the season. Oh well. What do you think about Şengün? I think he's a good player. I don't think he's like a star, going to be a superstar or nothing like that, but I think he's a good player. If Houston Rockets' plan is to build around Şengün, I think that would be a horrible idea. That's not even me like hating. I'm not trying to be a jerk or nothing like that. I do genuinely like Şengün. I liked him before the draft as well. Like I like him, but if they want to build around him, they're gonna they got another thing coming to him. I don't think that'll work out. But he is a good player. All right, I guess we're done with thoughts, right? Rockets fan acting up like they just won their first title in 30 years. And they only won that title because MJ played golf. Not golf, I'm sorry. Baseball. Clan, I didn't watch the game today, but what happened to Wemby with only 10 minutes and only 10 shots? So you'll see there that he played 31 minutes, but in actuality, so he was triple teamed almost every play. They called him for some very quick fouls earlier in the game, so Pop had to keep taking him out. He's already injured, so there's that. But yet and still, he has 7 blocks, But yeah, and in the fourth quarter, he was not playing like Wemby. Like, he wasn't playing free at all. He was trying his best. He just put his hands up, trying his best not to foul Şengün. It's the same stuff that we've seen prior when he's gotten foul trouble, like earlier in the season. I didn't know we would go back to that, but we got back to that. So, I said 10 points. What? What do you mean? Only 10 points and 10 shots? I mean, I was telling you. He didn't. I mean, it wasn't that good. I don't know what to say. All right, last thing. Clan not saying you should diss players, but reality, do you see us getting rid of next season? I could very well see Keldon being gone, Osman being gone. Honestly, those kind of the big ones. And I can see Graham being gone. Those three. Possibly Memu, but those are kind of the big three right there. You'll bring in another guy in the draft. I'm sure we'll draft or trade for somebody. Maybe even 2 lottery picks. Hopefully, that would be cool. But we need the Rockets, or not Rockets. We need the Raptors to continue to flourish. But yeah, I could see those guys being gone. So Keldon, Osman, Graham. Those kind of the 3. Collins. Guys, refresh my memory. Collins can't be traded till. Can he be traded this offseason, or is it in October? I forget how this works with his contract. Summer? Okay. We can't trade Collins? What specifically did Wemby do to his shoulder? He just made contact with the defender. He just drove, made contact with the defender, and, you know, got his shoulder stuck a little bit. He's fine. I mean, he played in this game. Like, he's fine. He just signed. Okay, so it got to be in October, right? Before they can trade him. Next season around October. Okay, yes. So the Spurs cannot trade Collins. That's what I thought. They can't trade him until October. Oh, I just said your super chat. Thanks, Zach. Okay, yeah. So there it is. So possibly Collins. I'm not sure though. I mean, Don Barlow just got his contract, so that's good. But if you're just saying going into next season, I think I would say with confidence, if I had to put money on it, Keldon, Osman, and Graham would be gone.